Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. Today I'm going to present you my November TBR, all the books I'm planning to read over the course of the month. So let's get started. First off, of course, I'm talking about the books that I'm still into and taking over from October. One of them, or the first of them, is Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb, the final installment in her Lifeship Traitor series. I've been reading this for quite some time. It's not that I don't like it, I really do. I've rated the first books in the series both 5 stars, but actually a lot of buddy reads came up for me, and it was always like, oh, another buddy read each week, and then I postponed continuing with Ship of Destiny because I always wanted to be like in the discussion for the buddy reads, and so the book was a bit on the back burner in October, but now in November I want to tackle it and finish it, and I'm really looking forward to see the finale of the Lifeship Traitor series and then move on to the other books by Robin Hobb. The second book I'm taking over is Ruin, the third installment in John Gwynn's The Faithful and the Fallen series. That is a series I started recently and I'm reading with Caitlin from Kitty G. It's a very typical classical epic fantasy in a bit of a Gaelic Celtic kind of setting with maybe a little bit of Roman influences. It's quite interesting. I've rated the first book 4 stars, the second one 5 stars, so I'm really looking forward to see how this series continues. I'm about 20% into this third book, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing it. Then, of course, we had one of my personal major releases this year in October, and this was The Dreadworm by Miles Cameron. If you're following my channel from the get-go, you might know that I rave about this series, The Traitor Sun Cycle by Miles Cameron, for quite some time. The first installment, The Red Knight, was my favorite book of the year 2013. The Felt Sword, which is the second installment, was my second favorite book of last year. And now, finally, we have the third installment in Miles Cameron's series. I'm dying to know how it all is going to develop. This is a series that is like really high fantasy with a lot of elements of actually like a very medieval Europe. Miles Cameron puts together a very huge cast of characters, so you will definitely get around 20 points of view within the book, but that all plays into the epicness of the series, and I'm really looking forward to read this new installment. Next up we have 12 Kings in Sharakai, the new series by Bradley P. Beaulieu. This is a series with a female protagonist set in a Middle Eastern kind of setting in the famous city of Sharakai. I don't know too much about it. I'm about 10% into it. It is really intriguing. I like the writing style because always like towards the end of each chapter there's like a little revelation or a little new secret where you're always like, oh, I want to know where this is going, and oh, that is so cool. Oh, and there is this element to the society or to the town that is very interesting. So the way Bradley P. Beaulieu unveils his world and his plot is very cleverly done, and I'm really into it. And yeah, I've heard great things about it. The people that read it so far really love it, and I'm going to read it together with Shah from Shah Adventure, so I hope we're having a great time with the book. Next up we have The Traitor Baru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. That is actually a book that a lot of people are talking about and a lot of people are raving about. It gets a lot of positive reviews. Everybody says it's so heartbreaking. It is a very emotional book. It's a geopolitical intrigue about a girl whose country is invaded by the empire of masks, and she kinds of want to bring that empire to a fall, as I understood it, and tries to unravel the empire from within. So that seems to be very interesting, and yeah, I'm really intrigued by all the rave the book is getting, so I want to find out what it's all about. Next up we have The Dark Forest by Xijin Liu, which is the follow-up to the Hugo winner of this year, The Three Body Problem. I really like this book. I've read this last year. We did a live show about it with a couple of booktubers from the SFF spectrum. We might do the same with this book as well, because we want to read it together, and if our time allows, there might be a live show in November about the book. We're not totally certain about it, but we've talked about it, and so look out for an announcement there. It's a really interesting series. I heard that the second book plays more in the future from what the events were in the first book. So I don't know anything about it. I wanted to go in really blind, and I know from all the Chinese commenters on the videos that they all look forward for us to get into the second and the third book, because they say that is why the series has really that high of a status in China. And yeah, I'm really interested to see where the series is headed. And next up we have The Crystal Cave by Mary Stewart. It's a series about an Arthurian retelling. I want to read more Arthurian retellings because as a kid I really loved the stories of King Arthur and his knights, and I haven't read many Arthurian retellings actually as an adult, and so I really want to get into it, and I'm going to buddy read this with Samantha from Novels and Nonsense, because she's a huge fan of Arthurian legends and has read some retellings but never has read The Crystal Cave, and so we want to tackle it in November together and see how good this retelling actually is. So these are the 7 books I definitely plan on getting to during the course of November, if there is still time. I have like 2 books that I might start at the end of November as well. The first would be Otherland by Ted Williams. I've read this book like when it came out, I think in 1995 or 1996 or something like that. I remember a bit of it. It's a cyberpunk novel, very interesting. But I never actually followed up with the remaining 3 books of the series, and I know that Brock from Let's Read is a huge fan of the series, and so that is a series I wanted to tackle for quite some time. And so I decided if I have the time in November, I want to jump onto this series. If not, it will be part of my December TBR, but if I have time in November, I want to start with this one as well. The other option for the end of November would be A Cavern of Black Ice by J.V. Jones. This is a series, a 4-book series actually, that I have on my TBR for quite some time now. That sounds really intriguing, like an Ice Age scenario with more a clan-based system, so not the typical like medieval fantasy kind of thing. Caitlin from Kitty G was raving about this first book. She says it's as good as writing by Robin Hobb or by George R. Martin, and so if Caitlin recommends the book so highly, I'm even more intrigued to get to it, and yeah, that is another option for the end of the month. So these are my planned reads for November and a couple of options if I have a really good reading month. I hope you have picked up some quite interesting books yourself for November. Let me know in the comments which of the books of November you are looking forward to, and of course if you've read any of the books I'm going to read and if you liked them. Yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Bye!